This is NDTV and you are watching NDTV Prime.
Welcome to a brand new episode of CNB Bazaar Buzz here on NDTV Prime. I'm Siddharth Partner and we've got plenty lined up for you as we always do. Here's what's coming up on today's show. A lot of petrol variants driving in to the premium car space. We'll bring you the complete checklist. The Camry takes on the Skoda Superb. And the National Karting Championship, we have a full report. There seems to be a growing move away from diesel. A lot of preference in terms of which cars a lot of people were buying is now once again shifting back towards the petrol side of things, and which is why a lot of premium car makers have been fairly busy the last few months bringing in a lot of petrol variants. So what are the new petrol variants that have recently driven in, and what do you get on them? Because in some cases they're not locally built, they are completely built imports, which means you get a few extra features.
New car buyers are increasingly choosing petrol cars over its diesel counterparts. The trend gained momentum after the Supreme Court banned the sales of some diesel vehicles in the National Capital Region, in which the premium car manufacturers took a major hit. The Supreme Court order was passed on 16 December last year and was implemented for almost 8 months, and manufacturers rushed to bring in more petrol cars to their portfolio. Mercedes-Benz introduced 5 new petrol variants this year and will introduce 2 more by the end of this month. Jaguar launched the new XE only in a petrol avatar, and even Land Rover introduced a petrol engine for the Discovery Sport. Audi's new A4 was also launched only in a 1.4 TF SI petrol engine, and BMW quickly introduced petrol variants of the 3 Series and the 5 Series as well to keep sales going. With the introduction of these new variants and given the uncertain future of diesel cars in India, the sales of petrol cars have helped the manufacturers to register consistent growth. The Toyota Innova Crista also gets a petrol engine that accounts for about 5% of sales. The demand for petrol-powered cars is increasing, and so are its sales. Overall, in the premium car market in India, the sales of petrol cars are expected to grow over 10%. The growth will also encourage companies like BMW to assemble its petrol cars in India, as both the 3 Series and 5 Series petrols are imported to India as CBU units. Euro 6 emission norms are all set to roll out in 2020, which means automakers will have to make some huge investments for this transition to be smooth, which might result in cars being more expensive. With disparity between diesel and petrol car prices increasing, we expect the demand for petrol cars to keep growing in the near future.
Now let's talk about those 2 full-size sedans, and it is the Skoda Superb as always that's starting to set new benchmarks in that space, isn't it, in terms of interiors and also drivability. But the Camry has the hybrid advantage. Now of course the Accord Hybrid has just driven in, so it's too early for us to assess where it stands with these 2, but these are the 2 cars a lot of you are considering, and which is why we've put them against each other.
The full-size sedan segment hasn't really seen too much action of late. Slow sales have also meant we hardly have any options too. What once included cars like the Hyundai Sonata, Volkswagen Passat, Nissan Tiana and the once mighty Honda Accord is now pretty much a 2-horse race.
And the premium luxury sedan has seen a spurt of growth with the likes of the Toyota Camry coming into play. In fact, the hybrid did so well for Toyota that 70% of the sales came only from the hybrid. Well, that is why we see a new form of premium segment sedans that are coming there, and that is why we have the 3rd generation of the Skoda Superb here. Now there's one more car which is going to come soon, and that is the Honda Accord in its hybrid form. But for the time being, we'll check out what these 2 are made of.
Both cars come across as ample and sophisticated. On the new generation Superb, gone is the limo-like silhouette, and in comes a more sloping roofline. The sleeker styling is based on the Skoda Vision C concept, and it makes the car look aggressive, sharp and more proportionate. The Camry isn't a bad looker too, but it isn't as modern or new, and the abundance of chrome detailing looks forced. The distinctly different approach on styling is more evident on the inside. While on the Camry you have 4 wood detailing and chrome to make it look upmarket, the Superb features higher quality materials and gloss black inlays, more subtle and European by comparison. The dashboard on the Camry is cluttered with a host of buttons, while the Superb is more minimal and feels more luxurious. The Superb has more legroom. Its wheelbase stands at 2,841 millimeters. The Camry isn't far behind as it offers 2,775 millimeters, and both the front and rear seat are more plump, with good thigh support. The seats on the Skoda, though firmer, are good for long journeys. Where the Camry wins your heart, though, is the features at the rear. You can recline the rear seats up to 8 degrees for that additional comfort. And the armrest at the rear gets stereo control as well. Both these features are missing in the Superb. The Superb does have Apple CarPlay and pampers the driver with gadgets and sharp technology. The Superb also has a huge 625-litre boot space. It's almost 200 litres more than the Camry hybrids. This is because the hybrid system's battery takes up quite a bit of space. The regular Camry has a 587-litre boot though, still just short of the Superb's, and while the Camry's boot opens like any other, the Superb is really a hatchback and not quite the sedan. Now the power plant. The Camry gets a 2.5-litre petrol unit which gets additional power from an electric motor, while the Skoda Superb features the proven turbocharged 1.8-litre petrol engine. The Superb also has a 2-litre diesel option, and the Camry is offered with just the petrol unit too, though the hybrid dominates the sales almost entirely. The engines offered are very refined and you can't hear them on the move. In fact, the Camry Hybrid starts on electric power and at lower speed switches to all-electric mode, which makes you wonder if the car has been switched on at all. The NVH levels on the Superb are a notch above the Camry Hybrid, and you might just hear a pin drop there, though it sprints on the road at the drop of a hat. The Superb's TSI motor produces 177 brake horsepower and develops 250 Nm of torque. Compare that to the 202 brake horsepower on the Camry and you might say it's underpowered. The Camry Hybrid makes 158 brake horsepower from the petrol motor and 44 bhp from the electric motor. But what does it all mean on the road? The Camry's Autobox suffers from the rubber band effect typical of CVTs, but it's good for cruising on the highway. The paddle shifters are stranded, but it's a bit slow to respond. The hybrid motor does give the engine extra boost, but most of the power gets lost because of the transmission. The Superb though feels more eager, and the DSG gearbox gives you precise and seamless shifts. There are paddle shifts on this one too, and they're a delight to use it. Power delivery is strong yet controlled, and if needed one can also choose between various driving modes. Efficiency-wise, Toyota claims that the Camry Hybrid delivers 19.6 km per litre, which is truly impressive for a car this size. The Superb manages to achieve only 14.67 km per litre for its petrol option, while the diesel delivers 18.19 km per hour. The Camry and Superb are loaded with a long list of standard comfort and safety features. While the Superb comes with 8 airbags, the Camry has to make do with 7. The Superb is all new, so it does get a few more add-ons like ambient LED lighting and connectivity options. The Skoda also gets clever accessories like umbrellas in the doors. The Camry is more practical and is best suited for those looking for rear seat comfort. It also scores on the green quotient. But the Superb outperforms the Camry in every other aspect. Even on price, the Superb is 5 lakh rupees cheaper than the Camry, and this is even after the relief of 70,000 rupees that the Camry gets on account of its hybrid system under the government's FAME scheme. The Superb is priced at 25.13 lakh rupees, while the Camry costs 31.92 lakh rupees, both prices ex-showroom Delhi. So in this battle of the big sedans, for us the Superb is the clear winner.
Time for us to slip into a short break here. I come back and answer some of your queries. Stay tuned to CNB Bazaar Buzz.